Okay, tonight what we're doing here is we're going to show you how to cook spaghetti sauce on an open campfire. Okay, and what you have to watch it pretty closely. Now, just to let you know, I have pre-cooked some of the hamburger meat and just added the marinara sauce, which I also, when I was cooking the hamburger meat, I added about a half an onion to it, and which here in the fire, I've got it set with certain blocks that I've cut to hold the skillet up. Now, you can do this on a campfire, and what I'm showing you here is you could do it on a grill, which is what I'm doing. I'm adding a little water to it. It's getting pretty warm. So, we don't want it to dry and burn. That's the secret. But, the technique to all this is to get that flavor from the wood fire into the meat sauce. So, I've watched a few videos on this and I thought it was pretty good and something that I thought I could actually share. Now, I've got the pack of noodles. They're cooking in there on the stove, which I could do it. I could have done it all outside. But, you know, I'm just trying to show you a little bit of a different way if you want to fix spaghetti for your family or yourself, which I'm doing tonight, and get that different flavor in there. Now, the wood that I'm using here is basically, I'll turn you around here. It's basically white oak and hickory, okay? I've built the fire, let it build up a good bed of coals, and which I added the hamburger meat with the onions, which was already chopped up, marinated them, and after it got not completely done, I brought the skillet in, drained the grease off. That's the main thing right there. Drain your grease off, because if you don't, it's going to just have lumps and it's going to look a little bit awkward. So make sure you drain your grease off, then add your marinara, whichever choice you like. Some people even do homemade. They do their own. But nevertheless, and you can add mushrooms, whatever you like. Whatever you like. And the thing of it is, on a campfire, or top stove, or grill, you got to keep this stirred. You can't walk away from it. Because if you do, and keep you a little extra bottle of water, just to keep it moistened. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to close the lid. I'm going to let it marinate just for enough time to cook in all that good sauce. And that smoke just blend all in there with it. Now, okay. As you can see, there's the grill. Here, let me turn my light on. There's the grill. That's the actual lid. I want you to see everything. Okay. All right. While this is cooking and simmering to the point of blending in all this smoke flavor with the marinara sauce, the hamburger meat, and the onion. So, but I'm gonna tell you a little story. True story. Happened back. I was on a fire assignment, January 2006. I left Wayne County on January the 1st. I was deployed to Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma. And upon arrival there, I was dispatched to the Osage Indian Reservation. It consists of about 1 million acres. It's north of Oklahoma City. And when I got there, I reported in, and I was actually assigned as a strike team leader. I had, I think, like a couple of dozers and 3 or 4 engines, type 6, which would be like a pickup truck with a 150 gallon to 250 gallon tank. So we would respond to these fires on this Indian reservation, and I stayed out there for at least a couple good weeks. And out there I learned quite a bit, and it was an experience that I've never forgotten. One of the days that I was out there, we come up to a little town, very small town, kind of remind me of Flatwoods, Tennessee, if any of you know that. And we stopped to get our lunch. It was about noon, and it was a little old store. It was the only store there in town, and kind of a little street that just goes down the center of town, couple buildings. But it was actually a town, and there was an old feller sitting out on the bench outside this store where we had went in and got our lunch. And I remember sitting down, and I seen the name of the town as we pulled up into the city limits of it, and I read the name. I couldn't really understand it at first, but it read Skiatook. Yeah. And I still did not know. I was kind of fascinated with the name and curious, very curious. So we got our sandwich and our drinks, and we went out there and sat outside the little store, and we kind of talked. And there was an older gentleman there, probably maybe in his 70s, pair of overalls. I could tell he was a local and probably lived there all his life. Got to talking to him, couldn't tell you his name. I introduced myself, what I was doing there, and he introduced himself, and we talked about the fires a little bit. And I asked him, I said, I noticed coming into town, I read the name of the town and it said Skiatook. What exactly does that mean? The old man turned and looked at me. And he said, well, son, there's a story behind that name. Well, okay. I'm all ears. I'm ready. I'm wanting to hear this one. I said, okay. I said, can you tell me, sir? So he commenced to talking, and he explained back in the mid-30s, around the Depression, that was a pretty vibrant town. Didn't really tell me the name of it at the time, but this town was on an Indian reservation, mostly lived and run by the Indian uh, uh, network, if you want to call it that. They have their own government, uh, and but as he continued telling the story, he said during the time, he said the town was, vibrant and pretty much, a very outgoing town. One afternoon, a cyclone had come up, and it was heading directly in their path. This town was in the path of this, what we call tornadoes, they called cyclones then. And as this cyclone come in and just devoured this town, there was nothing left. Nothing left. So I looked at him and I said, okay. I said, so how did the town get its name? He said, it was given the name Skyatook. I still didn't catch on to it. Still was trying to catch on to it. And he looked at me and he said, son, Skyatook. I said, okay, I get it. That was the name that the Osage Indian give this town. The sky came, picked up the town, took it up into the sky. As this day, you can pull it up. Google Oklahoma, Skyatook. It's a real town. And it's an event that really happened that give that town its name. So, anyway, all right, let's see what's going on with this. Oh, it's doing good. Yes, sir, it's doing good. There we go. Okay. This is our meat sauce. And like I said, I've got the noodles marinating in there and hot water, salt and pepper with a spoonful of butter. I'll drain them, mix them in with this meat sauce. And it should be something quite different. It's not stuck at the bottom. All that hickory smoke is blended in there with it. Right there it is, people. Right there it is. If you can only smell this right now, that is pure campfire cooking. Listen, y'all have a good night. Take care. Learn as you go. God loves you.